Arkansas's rural roads are some of the worst in the country, according to a new report. The report by a national nonprofit transportation research group says Arkansas's rural roads have high rates of deficiencies and deaths. It also says our state's rural transportation system could use some updates to better support economic growth.
A new report shows Iowa's rural roads and bridges have significant problems. That's according to TRIP, a national transportation research group. TRIP says Iowa's rural roads and bridges are vital to the state's economy and more needs to be done to improve them.
Missouri has some of the worst rural roads and bridges in the country, according to a new study by a national nonprofit transportation research group. MoDOT says funding is always a challenge when deciding what projects to prioritize. Representative from AAA Missouri says the infrastructure will continue to deteriorate if the state does not supply rural areas with additional resources for repairs and replacement.
If you're hitting the road for the holiday, get ready for a rocky ride. Mississippi's rural roads are ranked the 5th worst in the country by at least one nonprofit.
The transportation research group TRIP ranked the Magnolia State 5th with New Mexico for the percentage of rural roads in poor condition.
Much of this information is information similar to what we've heard state leaders cite before when they've argued and fought for more transportation funding.
Some country roads in Oklahoma are in major need of repairs. A new report shows they have a high fatality rate. Amy Kaufman has details at the Alert Desk. Amy.
Well, Lacey, these roads are home to an aging and increasingly diverse population, so repairs are essential to support economic growth in those areas.
A new report out of Washington, D.C. cites rural roads in Virginia as having high rates of fatalities. The report adds that the state's rural transportation system is in need of fixing up.
The TRIP report also sheds light on the need for improved infrastructure to spur economic growth, such as in the supply chain from farm to market.
So we have talked quite a bit about the money from that gas tax going to repair the crumbling roads all over our state. And many of you might think we're talking about major roads like highways or interstates, but with our rural roads being 4 times more deadly. That's according to a new report out just this week. We wanted to take a look at the plans that transportation officials have to improve safety and quality. That's our angle that our Emily Scarlett has been looking into today. She joins us live now from Garners Ferry Road with more. Emily?
Judy, the report was released just yesterday by TRIP, a national nonprofit transportation research group. They looked at the states with the highest number of deadly crashes on rural roads, and South Carolina topped the list.
They just looked at the amount of rural road fatalities in each state, and South Carolina was the highest.
South Carolina's Department of Transportation is already on it, releasing a plan just last week to tackle and improve rural roads.
They're going to look into where these fatalities are occurring and make engineering solutions such as rumble strips, guardrails, widening the shoulder to allow more correction.
This means addressing the issues rural roads face most: higher speed limits, a lack of safety features, and slower emergency response times.
When you're talking about deaths on rural roads, minutes matter, seconds matter. So when you have a first responder that's either stuck in congestion or can't get there because of the quality of the road, yes, that will increase the likelihood of someone possibly dying.
Plans to improve these issues are part of the Rural Road Safety Program funded by the new gas tax, which goes into effect Saturday.
We're taking the step, the legislature finally acted this year, to move forward with a solution that will provide the resources to curb the fatalities on the rural roads.
A step the state hasn't seen in nearly 30 years.
The additional tax that citizens of South Carolina as well as out-of-state residents will be paying will go to directly saving lives on rural roads.